So what is the easiest way to make $10,000 a month after month, year after year, working 100% remotely? What I'm here to say is it's not crypto, it's not Bitcoin, it's not Airbnb arbitrage, it's not MLM, it's not rental properties, it's not trading, it's not Forex. The list goes on. There's a million different things you could do online to make 10, 20, and 30, 40, 50,000 plus a month. There's a million different things, and I don't want to bash these opportunities. I'm biased because this is the way I've done it for the past 5 years consistently like clockwork. So of course I'm going to be a little biased to be fully transparent. But in my opinion, and this year and the year moving forward, well, I can't even say the year moving forward, the technology going the way that it is, there's always something that could be more cutting edge and more revolutionary. But with how the market is right now and with how the economy is right now, the easiest way to 10,000 plus dollars a month, hands down, has to be remote sales. And here's just a few reasons. Reason number one is you don't have to go out and develop a product. Let's imagine that me and you are going to go out and we're going to open a business. What are the steps that are involved in opening up a traditional, not an online business, but let's just go traditional business for now. First and foremost, we have to find an office space. We have to pay utilities. We have to pay account receivables. We have to pay employees. We have to develop the product. We have to find out if there's even product market fit, because last thing we want to do is go invest an arm and a leg in this product that we think is absolutely incredible, and then we go and try to sell the product and nobody wants to do this. I don't know if we've ever watched the show Shark Tank. That's a show that I absolutely love to binge watch, to be fully straight up. And the one misconception, the one thing that I see a lot of these entrepreneurs doing is they go ahead and remortgage their house. They go ahead and get all this money from friends, families, and all these people and put it into this product that they think is going to be the next big thing. And no one wants to buy it, not even the investors, right? The beautiful thing with remote sales is all you have to do is help that customer make a purchase-based decision. End of conversation. The company has a product or service. They provide you a customer, and that's another thing. If you find the right opportunity, you're not out there door knocking, you're not out there cold calling. They provide a warm lead, a lead that literally put up both their hands and said, hey, I want that product or service. I want to know more about it. And your job is simply to educate that customer and see if they're the right fit. If they're the right fit, great. They make the purchase. If they're not the right fit, perfect. We send them their way. So that alone, if you have that entrepreneurial spirit, if you have that entrepreneurial bone, by all means, all the power to you. I'm not here to knock your hustle. I support it full on 100%. I'm just here to shed the light that there are easier ways where you don't even have to go out and build that product or service. And that's the first reason why remote sales is one of the easiest and the fastest way to scale to 10K plus and above beyond without needing to do anything super complicated. Now, in addition to that, obviously when you're working remote, you have location freedom. You're not tied up to a geographical location. I don't have to stay put in Canada. I could be here in Dubai. I could be in Australia. I could be anywhere around the world. And I have the ability to still make an income month after month, year after year. Now, with that being said, I do want to touch on a point where you have to be the hardest boss on yourself, right? You still have to show up to work. Just because you have all this location and time freedom and you can work when you want, with who you want, where you want, doesn't mean that you don't have to clock in and treat this like a boss and treat this like a job, I should say. That was one of the hardest things for me, getting started in remote sales in a commission-only environment. Why? Because I was originally conditioned to be an employee. What's an employee way of thinking? An employee way of thinking is, I'm going to go into the job at 9 a.m., I'm going to half-ass my efforts, and at 5 p.m., I'm going to get paid a check. And all I have to do is do that day after day, week after week, and I'm guaranteed that income. The biggest thing is once you're changing into an entrepreneurial role or a remote sales job, all that shit goes out the window. You're, in a way, your own boss because you control your availability. And I've seen it where people come in and because of that freedom, because they had that 9 to 5 thinking, they're like, yeah, I'm only gonna work 1 hour a week or 2 hours a week. And I'm here to be straight up. I'm your friend. I'm transparent. If you have that attitude, if you have that mindset, you're gonna be fucked getting involved in this and you may as well stay working at 9 to 5 because it's just not gonna work out for you. And that's just me being brutally straight up. So if you're able to develop that self-discipline and become a self-starter and to have that structure in your schedule, till this day, I have a very aggressive structure where I'm following up with people from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. I take a 1 hour break, I'm back on it. I have a whole system. My system's gonna be different from yours, and it's gonna vary from niche to niche, from offer to offer, from what you're selling. Now, another reason why remote sales is the easiest, the fastest, and the most scalable opportunity to earn that 10K plus month after month is it's fat commissions. What do I mean by that? Often in this space, depending on what niche, depending on what product or service you're offering, you're gonna earn anywhere from 10 to 20% of the purchase price. So math was never my good subject. I actually had to be straight up, I had to repeat math multiple times, but I could do the math on that really quick, right? If you're selling a $10,000 offer, you're getting paid 10, 20% of that, $1,000, $2,000 a pop every single time. So it's fat commissions, and one of the biggest, the most beautiful thing about this compared to a MLM opportunity or affiliate marketing or real estate or arbitrage or whatever the case is, your job, like I said, simply get that buying decision. They say yes, we found the right product or service for that customer, your job's done, on to the next. You don't have to do any of the fulfillment, you don't have to do any of the annoying stuff because these companies will have customer service managers where basically their job is just to do the fulfillment for that customer. All your job to do is simply get that customer to find the service, and then you're done. Now, another reason why remote sales is probably the easiest and the fastest way to scale to 10 grand plus a month is it's the easiest barrier to entry. What do I mean by that? Again, if you look at a traditional business, what do you need to start a traditional business? You need capital, right? You need money. If you want to get involved in multi-level marketing, what do you need? You need money. If you want to get involved in Airbnb arbitrage, what do you need? You need money. Why? Because you have to furnish the apartment. You have to get appliances. You have to do this, that, and the other. With a remote sales role, the only barrier to entry is getting the job, knowing how to sell. And with a lot of these companies, they're actually more open to representatives they're open to two types of representatives from what I've seen. Representative number one is somebody that knows that niche and is an absolute killer. And that company could simply bring in that sales rep into their organization, and there they go. You know, they're super self-sufficient. They can get it done. They're going to go out and kill it, make 10, 20 grand the first month or two. The second type of representative, and these are my personal type of representatives to train and work with, is somebody that's completely new. And why is that? Completely new, but they have some idea about that niche. For example, if I have a real estate offer, they know real estate. They know the lingo about real estate. They might not know sales, but they know real estate, or they know Airbnb, or they know crypto, or whatever it is, whatever product or service or solar or whatever it is we're offering. Now, the reason why I say that is when you have a new sales rep, or if you are new and you're looking to get involved in one of these industries in these specific niches, you're coming in with a clean slate. You hopefully don't have any bad habits. You've never done sales before, so you're not coming in with the ego that, oh, I know how to do this or that. Everything is brand new for you. So it just makes our job as the trainer that much easier, because if you're hungry, if you're willing to work, if you're willing to learn, you're able to get started with that opportunity and figure out the skill sets really quick and with an open mind, compared to somebody that already has that ego and thinks that they know what's going on. Because I've been around the block, I've been in this industry for 5+ years, and the amount of people I see that have either door-to-door experience, or they have used cars experience, or they're selling something, and then they bring that ego into it. It's like, yeah, I was the #1 guy, I'm gonna kill this. And because it's just, I don't want to say it's a completely different process, but bottom line, they don't know the product yet, they don't know the service, and they haven't given it, there's still a learning curve, obviously, and they come in and absolutely shit the bed because their ego wasn't their amigo, as cliche as that might sound. So I really hope that helps if you are looking for that remote lifestyle. If you're looking for an opportunity that gives you freedom, it gives you flexibility, you can work when you want, wherever you want, literally anywhere in the world. Guys, I'm talking to you from Dubai right now, and I'm still working. This industry has changed my life in so many ways, and not just financially, but personally. A little background about myself. By nature, I'm a very introverted, very shy, very to myself kind of dude. But when you're forced to be in a situation where you're taking phone calls all day and you're connecting with people and you're sharpening your communication skills, you're gonna get better, you're gonna get more comfortable with it over time. And besides the hundreds of thousands that I've made over the past few years doing this, that's been the most rewarding thing, is watching myself grow as an individual, watching myself improve in my finances and my relationships and every aspect of life. So if you're at a point where, #1, you want to improve your finances, okay? You want to do something that you have full flexibility of your control, of your location, your time, and you want to try something new, remote sales, hands down, easiest thing to get into, low barrier to entry, fat, juicy commissions if you're offering the right product or service, absolutely fat commissions. You don't have to invent the product or service. And I can't stress how crazy that really is, because half the time you have to figure out what it is that you're gonna sell, what it is you're gonna offer, and that process alone. Last thing I'll share, and then I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of your day here. But last story, I have a friend who had an amazing idea for a business. I'm not going to go into too much information on what the product was, but he saw a huge opportunity to be marketing this type of protein, thinking that it's going to be the most cutting edge thing, thinking that he's going to get rich overnight. And I'll give it to him. He was committed, he was driven. And who am I to say, hey bro, that's a stupid idea, I wouldn't do it? I was just a friend, and I said, you know what, I support your decision, go all in, and let's pray and hope for the best. Fast forward 2 years into this endeavor, Buddy invested over $100,000 into trying to figure out how this protein's gonna taste, and branding, and this, that, and the other. And to make a long story short, he didn't stick with the business. There wasn't a need for the product. He wasn't able to sell it at scale. And it just, sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. And in that case, that was $100,000+ lesson, right? So again, if you're after that dream to make 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and beyond, like this is the tip of the iceberg. But even if you want to earn something more realistic, your first $2,000, $3,000 a month, I'm here to say it's possible. I've helped people do it. I've seen multiple people do it. It's all about finding the right vehicle, finding the right product and service, finding somebody that actually isn't a shyster and that's authentic and transparent. And there's lots of good opportunities out there, so keep looking. I hope this helps shed any light if you've been looking for an online opportunity. Hands down, remote sales is the way to go.